All right, welcome back. We are with Disney Magical Vacation Planner, Natalie TULL, and she was just telling us amazing tips and tricks of the theme parks and planning your next Disney vacation. And she had a couple more tricks. Natalie, tell us all the secrets.
Okay, so one of my favorite things, it has to do with character interactions. You can meet a lot of characters at Disney World, even in these COVID times. Now, the interactions are slightly different than they used to be. They are socially distanced, but I'm sure they will change as we all get vaccinated and get back to normal, right? But
Right.
whether it's socially distanced or it's not, I still have the same tip, and that is ask the characters questions. These characters, they study so hard to do this. Like, it's a big deal to be a Disney character. Now, the face characters, which means someone where you're seeing their actual face, like a princess,
Mm-hmm.
they obviously can have the most interaction with you because they can answer in voice. The suit characters, obviously a little different, but they still will very much interact and they will mime out things and whatever. But my very favorite character interaction in the whole Disney World park is Cinderella's stepsisters. You have got to meet them. They are
Oh,
the most fun because they don't have to be nice and sweet. They are sassy and mean, and it is hilarious.
I bet
So
the gays would eat it up.
yes, get them going. My daughter told, and I'm gonna forget who's who. It's Drizella and well, the other one whose name is escaping me right now.
Your
Um,
guess is better than mine.
Anastasia, Drizella and Anastasia. So she told Anastasia, and this is, direct from the movie, right? I like your flute playing more than I like her singing because that's what they do. And up until then,
Yeah.
my daughter had gotten the whole makeover thing. She was dressed as a princess and they were fawning over how she was royal and whatever. And at that moment, Drizella, the one she had just insulted, stomps off, tells her, "You don't look that cute anyway," and is just standing with her hands crossed. It was so funny. So I highly recommend the stepsisters, and make sure you have a question ready or something that you
And
can toss their way that they can play with.
I was going to say, and they interact with adults too. It's not just the
Oh
kids.
yeah, you do not have to have a kid. Absolutely. I can't tell you how many times we've met characters and no children are around in our line. There's just adults in front of us. So no, it's not. Don't ever feel like, oh, that's just for kids. No, you're at
Right.
Disney. It's all for you. It doesn't matter if you're what age you are. It's all for you. So it's fine.
Okay, now, so can we talk a little bit about, okay, we've talked about some tips and tricks, some do's and don'ts, but can we talk a little bit about, I was amazed by, I know you have the theme parks obviously to offer as a
Yes.
magical vacation planner for Disney, but there are, I mean, the cruise ship is there, which in itself has all these different things going on all over the ship. And then you have these resort locations, which I really didn't know anything about. And then there's all these other travel offerings and programs that Disney offers. So could you tell us about those programs?
Yeah, so Disney has a lot of different ways for you to vacation. It's not just going to Disney World or Disneyland. But they do have the Disney cruises. They have multiple cruise ships, so you can choose what kind of cruise you want to go on, how long you want it to be. They also have their own private island. And so if you book a long enough Disney cruise
Mm-hmm.
and pay a little bit more money, then
Okay.
you can spend a day on their private island. It's got its own private beach, so it's really nice. And it's got tons of stuff for you to do. And they literally spend all day there. And it stops in ports in the Caribbean. So you can expect that, the normal Caribbean ports are where they stop. They also have like Marvel Avengers Day at Sea. They have Star Wars Day at Sea, and they do pirate nights too. So within a cruise, there's also themed nights and occasions that happen while they're out. So that's really fun.
I love that.
Aside from the cruises, they also have, as Andrew was saying, resorts. So we just got back from Disney's Aulani Resort in Hawaii, which is beautiful and amazing.
Your photos were stunning. I mean, every
It's Hawaii.
adventure
I
you guys
mean,
went on. Yeah. Yeah,
you
but
can't
every
take a
adventure you
photo
guys
that's
went on was,
bad. It's just
that's true.
all beautiful.
That's
Um,
true.
it's it's on the island of Oahu, and it's in a town called Ko'olina, which is kind of west of the airport in Oahu. So
It's
Waikiki.
east. Is it just east of Come On, I Want to Lay Ya?
Uh-huh,
Just kidding.
exactly.
I totally got it sold.
So it's in a private gated community, and so it is quiet. And so what I would say is to recommend to people if you're going, is
Mhm.
kind of the thing we did, which is spend some of your time in Waikiki first. Waikiki is way more party scene and just everybody hanging out at the beach, and there's bars and restaurants, and you can kind of base out of there, and all the highways come to Waikiki or Honolulu, and you can get all over the island from there. And then when you're ready to relax, you go to Alani, which is a little more tucked away, and you just hang out at the beach. They've got a lazy river, they've got multiple pools, they've got like an adults only infinity pool, and they've got hot tubs and all kinds of stuff. So it's
And you
really
can still have like the genuine Polynesian Hawaiian experience too.
absolutely, absolutely. They're very, Disney is very intentional about how they try to consult with people whenever they're making even their movies now. Like when they made Moana, they made sure they got a lot of cultural input from the people of not just Hawaii, but
Mhm.
other islands in Polynesia to find out what their traditions are, what things should look like, and they tried to be as accurate as they could about the time period and things like that.
And
But
that
Alani is just one resort. They've also got another resort in Florida called Vero Beach, which if you just want to do like a Florida beach vacation,
mhm.
that's your place. It's beautiful. You get the Disney level of service. That's always the thing about Disney is they have a really high customer service level. And they're going to bend over backwards to accommodate you, whatever it is. And they are, as we've talked about, they are gay friendly. I mean, if someone's hassling you, you can pretty much bet Disney is going to back you up and like take care of the problem.
Yeah, I've
Uh,
never Disney is a very progressive company. That's why I want to make sure that we had you on the show, and it's something that I think you can go to gay days and feel extremely comfortable, but you can go any time of the year and be
anytime.
comfortable at any of the parks, locations, or resorts. And
Yeah.
speaking of which, do you also handle international travel?
I do. Now there's so I handle all kinds of travel, whether it's just an all-inclusive, you want to go sit on the beach in Mexico, Costa Rica, Dominican, wherever you want to go, like I got you. But also, and of course we can't go right now, but European travel as well. We handle European travel with our agency, and then Disney, they have what they call Adventures by Disney.
Mhm.
So again, you're getting the Disney level of service. Now, if I want you to understand, Adventures by Disney is not going to have Mickey Mouse. He's
Right,
not going to be there, right?
right.
But whereas if you go on the Disney cruise, he will be there because
Okay.
Mickey Mouse will be on the cruise with you, and
Check the app. Check the
so will
app.
so will several. The cruise has its own app, and so will several of the characters be on the cruise with you. So that is more of it's like being at Disney World without the rides.
Right.
Whereas their resorts are a little different. Like at Alani, there were characters and things like that, but it's only if you want to see them. Like you had to kind of go out of your way to see them. Um, but the Adventures by Disney, that's what
Mhm.
they call their international, their tours and their guided tours. So you have a tour guide taking you through a country, um, being your interpreter, getting you access to places that you could not get access to, or at least not in as private a way as you are going to have access to it on an Adventures by Disney tour. And they also do river cruises in Europe, which I think is amazing because you can pick like the Rhine River, the Seine, and there's the Danube, and they take this big cruise ship and it goes up the river, stopping in ports in different countries all along the way. So you get to see beautiful cities along the river. You get to get off the boat, go do amazing things like learn to make chocolate or learn to make cheese or do beer tasting or wine tasting or whatever you want to do, whatever they've got scheduled for that day. And then you get back on the cruise ship, you sleep, and then you make your way to the next city. So you don't have to worry about like changing hotels or transportation from place to place.
Right.
They've got all of that covered for you.
And so whether you're an individual or whether you're a couple or whether you're a big gay family or you got a group of friends, no matter what the scenario, they can all contact you and they can get in touch with you. And one of the perks of planning a vacation through you is not only are you going to do all that, heavy lifting as far as the planning goes, but there's a lot of perks that come with going through a magical vacation planner, correct?
There are. I mean, one of the big ones is, especially in right now, these uncertain times that we live in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things change. And sometimes, you book your vacation and everything's going great. And then it gets time for you to go and something has fallen apart on your end, right? And now you need to make an adjustment. You need to push your dates. I live in Texas and we had a big snowstorm that just froze the whole world here.
Right.
I had a client that was about to go to Universal Studios and he called me up and he was like, our pipes burst we've got to meet with insurance adjusters and we can't go this weekend. And I was like, okay, well, guess what? If you book a vacation on your own, first of all, it costs you nothing. Literally, you will pay the same price if you book on your own or if you book with me. It is no different. But for him, had he booked it on his own, he would have been on the phone with Universal trying
Right.
to get things sorted out. They would have probably charged him the $50 change fee. But since he booked with me, I call it in. I'm the one who waits on hold. And sometimes the holds, guys, they are long. So uh, I was on the hold for an hour the other day and still didn't talk to anybody. But anyway, but I'm the one who will sit on the phone for you. I will make things right for you. I will advocate for you, explain the situation. And because we're a known commodity, our travel agency, which I'm not representing them, I'm just representing my own opinions, just FYI. But anyway, um, but I will be the one to do that for you. And because we are a known commodity, they are more likely to say, oh, okay, hey, we're going to take care of their client because
I was going to say, and you're so knowledgeable too, that if anyone had any questions, obviously they could bounce it off you on the phone rather
oh
than,
yeah. And Disney
discovering
is
it for themselves.
complicated right now because you can't just go and buy your tickets. You got to buy your tickets. You got to get your hotel, whether you stay on property or not. Then you've got to make a park reservation. So you can't just walk up to the gate with your ticket anymore. You've got to have a reservation for a park on the day you want to be there.
Wow. Okay.
And it's a
So,
whole system. You got to link everybody that you're traveling with together in the app in order to make the reservations together to make sure everybody has everything settled. And I
but
walk you through all that. Hey, Andrew, I've got one more tip.
okay. Let's hear it.
Okay, this one's about Disneyland, not Disney World. So Disneyland has been closed during COVID the whole time, and they are reopening April 30th. So it is coming up this month, very, very soon. But what I will tell you that you really need to know is that it is only opening to California residents, at least until further notice. Now, this
Oh,
is due to California's own restrictions. Disney is not allowed right now to allow anybody other than California residents in. But what I will say is your governor, because you now live there in California, your
mhm.
governor is reopening the economy. He is slated, I think, June 15th or 30th. I can't remember which of the dates it is, but he's supposedly going to open the economy wide, whatever that means. I'm not sure what he means by that.
Right.
They're going to do away with the tier system, which makes me think that everything's kind of just opening, right?
I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah.
I think that's what's happening. So at that point, it's possible Disney will be able to allow other people who are not California residents in. But the second big note about Disneyland is that on
Okay.
June 4th, Marvel Avengers Campus opens. This
Oh,
this is
so
a
all
big
the
deal.
superheroes.
All the
Okay.
superheroes. There's a new Spider-Man ride that is open. There are restaurants that are Marvel themed, and there are Marvel characters and villains that will be roaming around the area. So
Oh, so it's like a whole section. It's not just like one ride.
it's an immersive land. Yes, everything is Marvel
Wow.
themed in this area. So it's been really anticipated. I'm a huge Marvel nerd, apparently. Like, I didn't even know this about myself until recently. And I was like, dang it, I am a Marvel nerd. But
Oh yeah. I mean, I love it. And I will tell you, I'm like those superheroes, those are some pretty tight costumes and I like them.
I know, right? Yeah, like Black Panther's gonna be walking around, Thor's gonna be walking
Ah,
around.
hello. Hammer
Yeah,
time.
Spider-Man's gonna be doing acrobatics over your head. I don't know what all's happening there, but yes, if you want to see it, it's happening at Disneyland starting this summer, June 4th.
That's freaking awesome information. Well, the cool thing is you can book through Natalie and she'll make it really easy for you. And
Yes.
you're going to have an amazing time at Disney, whether you're at a theme park, the cruise ship, at one of the resorts, or on one of their adventures. The adventures look amazing, honestly. And to
Yeah.
have someone,
Can't wait to go.
that's, yeah, in the area that knows what they're talking about and can kind of show you the ins and outs feels like kind of like a private, experience that no one else gets to get, but they can get that through getting to you. So how can everyone that's listening or watching the podcast right now get in touch with Natalie Toll?
So my email address is in.tull@magicalvacationplanner.com. And then you can also find me, if that's too much to remember, you can find me on my Instagram, which is Travel MVP Natalie, or the Facebook, which is facebook.com/Let's Travel with Natalie. So either
And if
of
you
those ways will get you to all my contact information.
Yeah, and I was going to tell everybody, even if you're driving and you're hearing this information, you're like, I got to call Natalie tonight. just know you can go to the outofclosetpodcast.com and we'll post all this information there so you can access and contact Natalie and get your amazing savings on your big gay Disney vacation. So I just want to say thank you so much, Natalie, for being a magical Disney vacation planner and also joining us on the Out of the Closet podcast. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And can I just say one last thing, just
Oh yeah,
from me to you? I've had a lot of people contacting me lately about travel for the rest of this coming year and some for next year. And I will tell you, as I'm pulling quotes for these people, I'm seeing hotels in Hawaii. I'm seeing places that are sold out. So people are booking travel. They've been cooped up for a really long time. So if you're thinking about it, don't wait too much longer because you want to reserve
right.
your spot.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and obviously the parks, the cruise ships, all that will be taking as many, COVID protocols as possible, but things will be loosening up. Things will be changing as it goes. So the best thing to do is just contact Natalie. She can get you all booked on your trip. She can move you to the front of the line and cut through all the red tape for you. So just visit outoftheclosetpodcast.com. We'll have all her information and how to get in touch with her there. All right, Natalie, before you leave, I would love to play a game with you. Do you have a couple minutes?
I do, and I love games.
Okay, good. Because I play games with all of my guests, but I like to have something that's a little fun. So this game is going to be called Disney or Diz Yay. All right. Okay. So the premise of the game is I'm going to hold up some lesser known actual Disney character names that most people would never recognize, not even Disney experts. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. But and then I've made up a couple, that I've sprinkled in, and you have to tell me if it's Disney, meaning it's not a Disney character, or Diz Yay, meaning it is an actual Disney character. Okay, do you understand?
I got it. I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Now this is a stupid, dumb game, and the points don't mean anything. So, all right. So here's your first one, and there is a prize: satisfaction of being on the greatest podcast ever made. All right, here we go. So this is your first one.
Okay,
Timothy
Q
Mouse. Timothy Q Mouse.
I'm gonna say Diz Yay.
Diz Yay. All right. Actually, Timothy Q Mouse was it was Dumbo's mouse friend. So you know Dumbo?
Yes, I knew. Yeah, so recognized it.
And he was so cute. Yes. All right. What about the name Crikey? It's CRI-KEE. Crikey.
I'm gonna say Disney.
Oh, this is actually Diz Yay. This is Mulan's lucky bug. It's a little blue bug. I don't know if you've seen it before. It was kind of a smaller character. Okay. How about this one? How about Hoplo? Hoplo.
I'm gonna have to go Disney again. I don't remember any.
Disney.
Hoplo.
It's actually Diz Yay.
Oh my god. What is this one from?
This one, okay, this is a dopey mushroom from Fantasia. And I saw the screen
in Fantasia.
I saw this screenshot of this little mushroom, and it looks like it's like tiny. Not that size matters, but anyway, so I can see how you miss out. Okay, here's the next one. Archimedes. Is this one I made up? Is this Disney or Diz Yay?
I mean, I want to say Diz Yay. It feels like a Hercules thing. It feels like it'd be from Hercules. So Diz Yay.
You're pretty close, actually. It is Diz Yay. It is the owl from The Sword in the Stone. Which I'm convinced that that owl, and I think that owl is the same one that does the pops, the popsicles. What's that?
The Tootsie Roll.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's a Tootsie Roll. It's the same. I think it's the same guy. Anyway. All right. So no, that's Diz Yay. All right. How about Queen Harpo?
I'm gonna go Disney.
Disney is correct. That's just Oprah.
Oprah.
All right. How about Captain Rex?
See, there's a Rex in Toy Story, but he is not a captain. So I'm gonna go Disney on this.
Oh, now see, this one I was really testing your knowledge. This is actually Diz Yay. Now this one's really difficult though, because this is an animatronic character on the Star Wars ride for the Star Tours cruiser. So he was a pilot. Yeah, we're digging deep here on the
I have been on Star Tours many times, but I will tell you, I don't remember Captain Rex. I just remember C3PO and R2D2.
How about this next name? Figment, and the Dream Finder.
Disney all the way. I love Figment.
Okay, Figment. Okay, so let me read this off. So, because I didn't know either of these. So Figment and
oh, you're missing out.
Dream Finder are two different people. So, consider Epcot's unofficial mascot. Figment is a prominent figure to many Disney fans, but unless you visited the park in the 80s to know your Disney history, you probably don't recognize the Dream Finder. These two characters were the stars of the original Journey into Imagination Dark Side at Epcot's Imagination Pavilion and served as the guides through the wonderful world of the human imagination.
And you can still go on the Figment ride. So still there. Now the Imagination building is gone, and there after you get off the Figment ride, there's like some interactive things you can do, which are really fun, and they're currently closed due to COVID, but hopefully they'll reopen.
They'll be there. All right, our next Disney or Disney name is Corbin Fisher.
Corbin Fisher. I definitely don't know this name. I'm gonna say Disney only because it seems like a very random name for you to make up.
Yeah, well, it's actually it is Disney.
Oh,
and the reason why
is like a friend of yours, right?
Oh, well, everyone is listening right now is laughing because Corbin Fisher is actually the name of an adult gay website. So that's definitely not Disney. all right.
My times on those websites. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, that's all right. All right, I got two more, and then we'll wrap our game. All right. How about Serafina? Serafina. Sounds like a great gas station.
I'm gonna say I don't know this name, but it's like ringing a distant bell. So I'm gonna say Disney, but I really don't know.
It is Disney. It's actually Nala's. Oh, wait, is that how you say her name?
Nala?
Oh yeah, it's Nala's mother from Lion King.
Nala. So, see, Nala.
Nala, but Serafina. All right, and this is the last one of our game called Disney or Disney. Is it Disney or Disney? To Henry Ravenswood.
This one's tough, Andrew, because again, it feels too weird for you to have made it up. But the last one I thought that on, I was wrong. I'm gonna go Disney. Disney. I'm gonna say Disney.
Disney. Okay, so it is a Disney name. You are correct. It actually is, and this was the hardest of the bunch. Henry Ravenswood is the Phantom in Disneyland Paris's Phantom Manor. So Phantom Manor. So for anyone to know that, if you weren't an actual Imagineer, I don't know how you would know that otherwise. But anyway, that is the stupid game that didn't mean a thing. Thank you for playing.
Yay!
Disney or Disney with Natalie TULL, the magical vacation planner of the stars. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's so fun.
Of course. If you want to get in touch with Natalie, just go to the Out of the Closet podcast website, which is outoftheclosetpodcast.com. I'll put her email there, her phone number, links to her social media and her website. So you can find out all the information there. And if you want to plan your next big gay trip to Disney, to the adventures, to the cruise ships, to any of the resorts, just call Natalie and she can help you out with everything. Natalie, thank you so much for joining me on the show today.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next time. Bye. Woo! Yeah. LGBTQAI plus LMNOP. Why so many letters? How did we go from LGB to LGBT to LGBTQ to LGBTQAI plus? Why are we so damn inclusive? And why is it so important to include all of these letters and that little plus symbol at the end? Well, I'm going to tell you. All right. But before we get started, let's go through each of the letters LGBTQAI plus, just so that everyone is clear and that we're all on the same page. All right. First of all, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. Those are the ones most everyone knows. So that's the LGBT. But what's the QAI plus mean? Well, Q is for queer or questioning. A stands for asexual. Asexual or ace is someone who experiences little to no sexual attraction. I is for intersex. That's intersex, not intersect. Intersex is a term for someone born with biological sex characteristics that aren't traditionally associated with male or female bodies. Intersexuality does not refer to sexual orientation or gender identity. And then there's that plus symbol at the end, a special character with a special meaning. That plus sign encompasses everything on the gender and sexuality spectrum that letters and words can't yet describe. Before I wrap this segment, I'll tell you some other ways people identify and their definitions so you have that knowledge too. Okay, so LGBTQAI plus. How do we get here? Well, before any letters, back in the 70s, we referred to this just all as gay rights. Well, then in the early 80s, it was lesbian rights. And then in the early to mid 80s, we started seeing the use of LGB, or sometimes seen as GLB, to represent the lesbian, gay, and bisexual community. But sometime in the early 1990s, as a form of unity within the queer community, we started seeing more prevalent uses of LGBT in place of LGB to include our transgender community. In the mid to late 1990s, we started seeing the inclusion of Q, some saying it meant queer, others saying it meant questioning, but either way, still fitting under the Q umbrella, and we added it to LGBT. So then we had LGBTQ. Now, queer used to be considered a derogatory term, but us gays took it back, and now we use it with pride, big queer pride. In the early 2000s, you'd start to see inclusion for I for intersex and A for asexual. And it wasn't until more recently that we've seen the plus sign added to encompass all the other people on the spectrum. Is LGBTQAI plus here to stay, do you think? Do you think we might add more letters, symbols, and or possibly numbers? Maybe some emojis? I'm only kidding. Actually, there may be even a possibility that it changes into something completely different over the next few decades. Who knows? Either way, it's important for us to include all of our community in everything we do because we all know that we're stronger together. And just so you're gauge-educated on some of the other terms, here are some of the other terms that you may have heard of and should know. And just so you're informed and maybe a little bit more sensitive to all the colors and variations of the rainbow. All right, pansexual. Pansexual is someone who is attracted to people of all gender identities, or someone who is attracted to a person's qualities regardless of their gender identity, if that makes it easier to understand. The prefix pan, meaning all, also rejecting the gender binary that some argue is implied by bisexual. All right, and then there's demisexual. Demisexual is someone who generally does not experience sexual attraction unless they have formed a strong emotional, but not necessarily romantic, connection with somebody. Cisgender is someone whose gender identity matches the sex they were assigned with at birth. Then there's graysexual. Graysexual is someone who occasionally experiences sexual attraction, but usually does not. It covers kind of a gray space between asexuality and sexual identity. Non-binary is a person who identifies as neither male nor female and sees themselves outside the gender binary. And then there's gender nonconforming, or GNC. No, not the health store, just GNC for gender nonconforming. All right, and gender nonconforming, or GNC, is someone who expresses gender outside traditional norms associated with masculinity or femininity. Not all gender nonconforming people are transgender, and some transgender people express gender in conventionally masculine or feminine ways. The genderqueer is another term often used to describe someone whose gender identity is outside the strict male, female, binary labels. Being gender fluid is a term used by people whose identity shifts or fluctuates. And gender neutral is someone who prefers not to be described by a specific gender, but prefers they as a singular pronoun. And there is MMAB, FAAB, or UAAB, which means male assigned at birth, female assigned at birth, or unassigned at birth. Now, these terms are all subject to change over time, and I'm sure more will be added long after this podcast airs, but it's important for all of us to know and recognize these people, our fellow community, understand these terms, and have a better knowledge of the diverse world we live in. For more on this subject, links about the story, and to learn more about LGBTQAI plus terminology, please visit outoftheclosetpodcast.com. I love all the consonants, vowels, and symbols that make up our vibrant, awesome, creative community.
Hi, I'm Ty Burgess, founder and CEO of One CBD, and I'm here to talk to you about bringing some balance back into your life, because everyone knows we can all use a little balance right now, and we have a special offer for Out of the Closet listeners today. To learn more, visit us at onecbd.com. That's ONECBD.com, and use discount code OUT for 50% off your first order. I'm so confident that you'll love adding One CBD to your routine that if you aren't completely satisfied, we'll refund your entire order. No questions asked. OneCBD.com. Take our free quiz to see which product is right for you. That's ONECBD.com.
Hello to all my Out of the Closet podcast family. I don't want to beg and I don't want to come off as needy, but the Out of the Closet podcast only exists because of listeners like you, and I really need your support. Any financial support you can do would be amazing and greatly appreciated. Whether it's $5, an ongoing monthly contribution, or if you just want to hand over your total inheritance and put me in the will, that's fine too. Anyway, it's really easy to do. Just go to outoftheclosetpodcast.com and click the support tab. Thank you so much for supporting the Out of the Closet podcast.